Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news at noon, you've heard of the Sarasota Police Department's Tweet from the Beat, where social media experts use Twitter to take residents behind the scenes in virtual ride-alongs. Well, today the County Fire Department is using that same concept in a similar program called Tweet from the Heat. ABC 7's Ray Collins joins us with details. Ray?
Scott, not a lot of heat so far today, but there is a lot of tweets going on for sure. Media assistant Ashley Lusby has been keeping Twitter followers up to date with all the events within the fire department. During a pit stop at their station at the Rosemary District, we watched a fireman start the process of attaching a fire hydrant to a ladder truck and refilling the tank. They had just returned from a car fire they extinguished in Newtown earlier in the morning. So whether it's a big fire, a routine part of their day, or safety tips, the battalion chief says it's important to stay in touch with residents. And Chief Derek Boyer admits they could have done this social media outreach, Tweet from the Heat, a little sooner.
It's something that we've been a little slow to pick up. Sometimes fire service tradition gets in the way of technology, but we realize this is an excellent way for us to engage with the public and to give them a chance to get to know us in the virtual environment. So we're trying to do that.
So indeed, a quiet day so far, just a car fire on 301 in Newtown. If you want to go for a virtual ride-along, the Twitter handle is on your screen here. It's at SCGovEOC. They'll keep tweeting until 4 p.m. today. Scott, back to you.
All right, Ray, thank you so much. In other news, a convicted felon is back behind bars after Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies find drug paraphernalia and ammunition inside his home. John Slattery arrested on Tuesday after deputies executed a search warrant at his home. Slattery was on probation for an October arrest for firing a weapon inside his home while under the influence of methamphetamines. During that arrest, deputies recovered numerous rifles. Sarasota County Sheriff's Office will soon be offering front desk service at its new headquarters. It's located on Callow Ridge Boulevard, which is off Cattleman Road in Sarasota, just north of Bee Ridge Road. It will be open for service starting next Monday. The front desk will be staffed every day from 7 in the morning until 7 at night. People can walk in to report a crime, commend a deputy, drop off or receive property, or dispose of unwanted medications. Governor Rick Scott appointing Bradenton's police chief to the statewide Council on Human Trafficking. Chief Melanie Bevan joining the council that was created to support human trafficking victims by enhancing available care options. Bevan is a 31-year veteran of law enforcement. City of Bradenton renewing focus on joining on the issue of human trafficking by partnership with Soul of Freedom. All right.
Really a significant concern by law enforcement. It's something that we run across every day. It's in every community. I would argue a lot of people just aren't quite aware of that.
Let's get a check now on our first alert weather with meteorologist John Scalzi. And John, it was kind of wintry looking feeling this morning.
Yeah, a little edge to things this morning. Had a little bit of a breeze blowing, and the humidity was a little bit high, so we had 100% relative humidity there for a while, which made it feel a little damp. But that's gone. We're now left with some pretty nice conditions. It kind of retarded the warming of the day just a little bit, so we're a little cooler right now than we were 24 hours ago, but we'll make up for that. We'll get up to a nice temperature today.
Good.
Yeah, it should be pleasant. The rest of the day anyway. We started the morning off with a little bit of those low clouds that kind of worked themselves in, and we have a trough of low pressure that was in North Florida, and it kind of produced a little bit of that cloudiness. It kept our morning temperatures a little warmer, but it's also kind of retarding the heating of the day just a tad, so we're going to wait for a few more hours before we start to get temperatures that are on par with yesterday, but we will. As far as the forecast goes, well, continued sunshine for the remainder of the day as those clouds have kind of mixed away as the atmosphere begins to warm. They're just a thin layer of clouds anyway. No rainfall associated with any of them. The rainfall is over on the other coast where it has been like damp and dreary there all week long, and that continues again today. For the rest of the afternoon, I expect to see a daytime high temperature that tops out pretty close to the 80-degree mark today, and then kind of tapers off again as we head down toward the evening period. Temperatures should fall off pretty quickly again because we have some pretty dry air in place, low relative humidity out there. And then as we head into the next couple of days, we'll talk about a couple of fronts that will be moving through and take a glance out into the distance at Thanksgiving Day as well. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. More trouble for Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore. Another 2 women have come forward with accusations of sexual harassment. Moore is fighting back, denying all accusations and attacking his accusers' stories. But the women who accuse him are not going anywhere. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more on these new allegations that are only adding to the political drama currently surrounding his bid for the Senate.
The number of women speaking out against Roy Moore keeps growing. Now 2 more women say Moore abused or badgered them.
There's a lot of shame to this.
Becky Gray was 22, working at the local mall in Gadsden, Alabama, when she claims Moore kept asking her out and would linger by the restrooms.
Parents are dropping off their 12-year-olds and, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds. I mean, come on. So anyway, I just thought that was really creepy.
Gina Richardson also worked at the mall and tells the Washington Post Moore called her at her high school. Gina, this is Roy Moore. I was like, what? He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm in trig class. Moore has denied all accusations of sexual misconduct and is attacking at least one of his accuser's stories.
Mr. Moore attacked me when I was a child.
Beverly Nelson publicly accused Moore of sexually assaulting her when she was just 16. She then said she never had contact with Moore again. Moore's attorney counters.
As it turns out, in 1999, Ms. Nelson filed a divorce action, and the judge assigned was Roy S. Moore, Circuit Judge of Etowah County. There was contact.
But Nelson's divorce attorney says the woman never stepped foot in Moore's courtroom and that the case only required a judge's signature. These accusations are dividing the Republican Party. So far, President Trump has remained relatively silent, but his daughter Ivanka is not holding back, saying she has no reason to doubt these women's accounts and that there's a special place in hell for people who prey on children. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, this is the Great American Smokeout, a day dedicated to smoking cessation. Many people turning to e-cigarettes to help them quit, but one recent study shows they have their own risks.
Coming up, we'll take you behind the scenes at the Oslo as Avita gets ready for its opening night.
Soufan, part of the U.S. Paralympic rugby team. In my game, movement is everything. I get frustrated when my move is blocked, especially when that guy has no right to be there, even just for a minute. I love a challenge, but I don't like to play this game every day.
A message from the United Spinal Association.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
We're still in hurricane season. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you. Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
Auto Trader recently said Stelvio can spring from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds. A segment best. You deserve the best. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
That's how we finally cracked the 70-degree mark with a lot of sunshine out there. Right now we're at 73 degrees. We have a dew point value that comes in at 60, which makes it feel pretty comfortable when you have that much of a spread in the temperature dew point. The dew points are in the 60s. It feels great out there. We'll watch for that temperature to continue to climb, probably as we get pretty close to the 80-degree mark. Similar to what we saw yesterday, maybe a degree cooler. We're looking at fairly calm winds out there right now, so a much better day for boating, I will say that. 75 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, 74 Mayaca City. Bradenton comes in at 74, 72 in Venice. Northport comes in at 75. And in Punta Gorda, we have 75 degrees as well. This represents about a 3 to 5 degree drop in temperature from 24 hours ago at this time. So you can see the effect that the little bit of cloud cover had this morning in terms of just getting us off to a slower start in terms of warming things up. We have a trough of low pressure that is sinking southward, a frontal boundary at the surface, and another one back behind it, still in the Pacific Northwest. Both of those will be influencing our weather before the week is over. This one actually comes through tomorrow, or at least kind of washes out over us tomorrow. It's not going to do a whole lot, and you'll hardly know that it's in the neighborhood, with the exception that it just kind of helps to reinforce this nice, pleasant weather that we have been having for several days now. It sinks southward. We'll wait for that one back to the west, but this one sinks southward and then just kind of fades away as high pressure bridges over it. So by Friday afternoon, it's gone. It's out of the picture. It has washed away, and we're left with this big ridge of high pressure again, providing us with some lovely weather. And that continues on through Saturday. Then as we head into Saturday night, Sunday morning particularly, that next front back to the west will be on our doorstep, and that one will bring us a chance of rainfall during the early part of Sunday, I think. And then winds will pick up a little bit, and we'll usher in another high pressure ridge, but this one will be just a little bit cooler. So mostly sunny skies for the remainder of the day. Low relative humidity, relatively speaking. Seasonable temperatures around as well, coming in the upper 70s to near 80. All in all, it's going to be another one of those beautiful November days. Nothing, no problems at all. Such is not the case over on the other coast. You know, with that north wind or that northeasterly wind, they have just had a persistent problem here with this little troughiness that's existed right along the eastern seaboard. And all the rain showers they've had really from Kennedy Space Center down to the Florida Straits. It's been kind of a dreary week for them with on and off cloud cover and drizzle, that sort of thing. We haven't had any of that, and we're not going to have any again today. It'll be another dry day for us despite those morning clouds. Across the nation, if you are traveling today, the Northeast is having a little bit of problems with rain showers and some snow showers in the down east Maine. And then back to the west, still coastal areas. Portland may see a little bit of a delay because of some gustier winds and some rain showers there. But this whole system is now on the march finally and moving in a direction that will eventually take it closer to us on Sunday. So the futurecast continues to show fair weather for us today, and then that northeasterly wind continuing on. Clear skies on Saturday. Should be a beautiful day on Saturday, and then we'll wait Sunday for this next front to the north to approach us and bring us that slight chance of a rain shower or two. As far as the forecast goes for boaters, north wind at about 15, becoming more northeasterly. Look for a moderate chop with 2-foot seas. And the forecast calls for daytime highs in the upper 70s, that chance of a Sunday shower. And then as we head into next week, we'll start off a little bit cooler. We'll start to warm up pretty dramatically. On Wednesday, we'll have a chance of rain showers as a frontal boundary approaches. And then on Thanksgiving Day, it's still a little early to tell, but I think we'll clear out on Thanksgiving Day, though there is still some high uncertainty, I guess you would say, in terms of what some of the computer models are suggesting. Could be a little wetter. So we'll wait. We'll see where we find that forecast. Scott?
All right, John, thank you so much. We'll put out that cigarette today. The American Cancer Society is hosting the Great American Smokeout. The annual event has tried to help people quit smoking since the 1970s. The American Cancer Society reports more than 35 million people in the U.S. still smoke. Smoking is associated with at least 12 different cancers. And according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, it kills hundreds of thousands of people in the U.S. every year. But experts say quitting, even for one day, will help your health.
If you quit before the age of 35, you can gain most of the life years lost from smoking tobacco products. So you're looking on average of a 10-year loss, and you can gain 9 of those back if you quit. But even if you're older, you can still gain life years back. So there is a motivation to quit even well into your elderly years.
You or a loved one need help to quit smoking, visit the American Cancer Society's website. You'll find tips as well as a number for a 24-hour hotline. Many times people who quit smoking tobacco products turn to e-cigarettes, but a recent study shows e-cigs do not come without risks. Researchers looked at a group of young adults with an average age of 26 and found those who used e-cigarettes with nicotine not only had cardiovascular symptoms but also asthma symptoms as well. Doctors say there are still some unanswered questions about the long-term effects of e-cigs, but they still deliver nicotine, just in a different way.
In the group that use the e-cigarette with nicotine, there was an increase in heart rate, increase in blood pressure, and it did find a transient increase in the stiffness of the blood vessels.
Dr. Choi says when it comes to kicking a smoking habit for good, there is no one-size-fits-all approach, which is why experts offer several different options. He also says most smokers are not successful in their first attempt to quit, which is why it's important not to give up after that first try. All right, let's get over to the kitchen now and say hello to our good friend, Chef Jamil Pineda from Michael's on East. Jamil, great to have you back in our kitchen. What's on your menu for today?
Today we're going to be having a pan-seared scallop with some ricotta gnocchi, some butternut squash, butter, lobster. Stay tuned.
We will. Thank you, Chef.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
The biggest shopping day of the year is here, and Sunset Fiat of Sarasota invites you to experience the ultimate LBD. Long, beautiful drive, of course, because no matter which model you try on, the Fiat 500, the 500X, the 500L, or the gorgeous Fiat Spider, you're going to love the way you look and feel in your new Fiat. Prices starting as low as $13,999 during the Black Friday sales event going on now at Sunset Fiat of Sarasota.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
The ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide. Download yours today.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
One of Andrew Lloyd Webber's top musical is opening at the Oslo Rep. ABC7's Linda Carson previews Evita.
Give me speed, give me light, send me homing. Shoot me off with your blood, wipe me off with your knights. Watch me come.
No matter how often you've seen Evita, you have never seen a production like this before.
The cast is insanely talented. We have a design team that has provided this epic, giant event. The entire show feels like an event. You sit down in your seat and it just blows you over like a tidal wave.
It's the real-life story of a woman who changed history.
It is about Eva Perón, spiritual leader of Argentina. She was the first lady of Argentina with Juan Perón, her husband. She was a very ambitious woman, and a lot of people loved her, and a lot of people did not love her.
Juan Perón certainly loved her.
They have this beautiful chance meeting at a charity concert that Juan Perón threw, and just having met in that particular charity concert, the course of Argentine politics changed in the course of history.
Ana Isabel is Evita. She brings something special to this role.
Definitely I'm bringing the spice of a Latina. You know, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I come from a family that is a working family, so I understand the point of view of Evita of, you know, fighting for the poor, for the working class.
She admires the Evita she's come to know.
She was very kind. She helped many people, and in an era where men were dominating, you know, Argentina, she was the one in charge to change that.
He supports you, for he loves you, understands you, he's one of you. Even how could he love me?
And the music is incredible.
It's a rock opera, but it kind of covers the spectrum of musical theater. There are, you know, kind of the prototypical Broadway sound songs. There are beautiful power ballads. There are rock star, you know, guitar shredding.
Anna says she hopes Evita inspires us to stop judging others.
We love to do this and this and this and this, and I think everything will be better if we start looking ourselves and understanding people and spreading love and spreading, you know, positive vibe and trying to just connect with people instead of judging them.
Evita at the Oslo Rep, November 14th through December 30th. Everybody who's seen it says this is the best thing the Oslo has ever done, and the Oslo has done some really great things. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Linda, thank you so much. Let's get back to the kitchen now. John is there with our good friend, Chef Jamil Pineda from Michael's on East.
Always fun having Jamil in the kitchen cooking up something interesting and always, believe me, very tasty. Good to have you here, sir.
It's great to be here.
Happy, I guess, holidays as we enter into the season. I know you guys
season.
are going to be crazy busy at Michael's.
Oh, yeah. So what we're doing right here, we're going to give you the #1 seller on Michael's on East. We got nice, beautiful sear scallops.
Beautiful
scallops. Going to start some nice dry scallops. This is a U10 scallops, and the best thing to do with scallops is to get them nice and dry. If you can see it right here, there's no water into them or anything like that. And one of the cool things about scallops, they have the natural salt, so we don't really salt our scallop at all. So they get nice and sweet and salty. And then we do it with some nice, beautiful brown butter. We're going to start some butter right here, and we're going to let that brown out a little bit. You can see we're not shy about the butter on this one.
No, what do you got? A stick
so
there.
We're gonna get that nice and get nice and sear. We're gonna get the butter to get. You can start seeing it right now, getting a little bit of brown on it. What that does is gives you a nutty flavor, and that's what you want to get when you when you're cooking your nice brown butter. Now you want to overcook it because then you burn it, and it's not gonna taste like
that doesn't
nothing.
taste so
That's
good.
not very good.
No.
But if you can see right here, they're starting already the brown into it. We have right here some beautiful sage. So we're going to do is going to start the sage with there so you can get a little crispy.
Love that smell.
All right? And then we kind of look at the scallops right here. They're still beautiful. And then we have some roasted butternut squash. We have some ricotta gnocchi. And we got some Maine lobster.
Ooh.
So we're going to let that get a cook a little bit right
Nothing
here so
wrong
you can
with
get
that.
that flavor. You can smell that, how good that feels,
Oh,
that
so
smell.
good.
And it's a very simple dish to do at home. Once you get the recipe going, once you get the gnocchis going, you know, a lot of people put the gnocchi in the water.
Right.
You're gonna let the butter cook the gnocchi, get them nice and fluffy.
Oh, okay.
So
So are these are pre-cooked though, right? The gnocchi.
The gnocchis are
already
pre-cooked.
cooked them in the
They're
water.
already cooked in the water, already
let them
done
dry out
all
a
the
little
other
bit.
salt and everything like that. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to add some of the gnocchis so the butter can start working on that. You can see that. And then we're going to have some of this butternut squash. This is a great dish for Thanksgiving. You got butternut squash, you got gnocchi, you got sage, you got plenty of butter here.
That's true. Yeah, it's a nice substitute.
And a nice substitute if you don't really want to, you know, for
Right.
those who don't want to have turkey. Let's flip this nice.
Oh,
See how
those look
beautiful
great,
those scallops
yeah.
look, nice and dry. And the cool thing about the scallop, they're sushi grade, so you can get them nice medium, medium rare. It's basically how we like to cook them at Michael's. Medium to medium rare so people can actually have that beautiful scallop. While this cooks right here, We're gonna go ahead and add some of the Maine lobster.
Oh man.
We do a lobster pot every Friday. So you know, and then what we decided, because there was so many lobster left over, well, why not start adding it to the dishes right here, something like this.
Man, who wouldn't like that?
We're gonna let that start cooking.
I'm telling you.
And get this scallop going. Meanwhile, I want to talk to you a little bit about one of the things we're doing in the wine cellar.
Yeah, what you got going on over there?
We have a beautiful, we're doing this great wine club, that every month you get 3 bottles of boutique wines. And then what this does, you pay $60 a month. They deliver you something like this right here.
To your door?
To your door.
Okay.
3 wines. Not only that, you get 15% off when you come to the store for all the boutique wines and stuff like that.
This time of year?
This time of year, you can get a 3 months, a 6 months, or a year membership if you like, plus tax and, you know, plus tax and delivery.
And boutique wines, so those are generally the smaller vineyards that specialize in
the things that are in what do you call that? Getting a lot of publicity and a lot of cool things. They pick very well. I mean, some of them are South African ones. You know, it all depends on the wine, but it's a great program. Like I
nice
say,
little place, Michael's Wine Cellar. If you have not been there, you should check it out. Got about 15 seconds left. I can't tell you how good this smells. I wish we had smell-o-vision out there.
Right.
But we have the finished product over here, and I see you've garnished it with what? Some microgreens?
So here's a little microgreen, and then we put some amaretto cookies right on top of it, so you get the little sweetness to it.
Oh, nice. Oh, can't wait to tuck into this one. Jamil, thank you very much. Happy holidays to you,
It's a pleasure. Happy
It's always
holidays,
good to
everybody.
see you here.
Thank you.
I want to remind everyone the recipe for this is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining button. It'll take you right there with all the video instructions from Jamil himself. We'll be right back.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book and DVD. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. Call 1-855-395-9803. That's 1-855-395-9803 now.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Auto Trader recently said Stelvio can spring from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds. A segment best. You deserve the best. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Live
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. The family of a Sarasota teen hit and killed while crossing Siesta Drive 6 months ago files a wrongful death lawsuit. Parents of 16-year-old Matthew Batchy filing that lawsuit, which claims negligence against Ashley Kozel and her boyfriend Marco Radicic. Batchy was killed and another teen injured when Sarasota police say they walked into the path of Kozel's SUV. The lawsuit accuses Radicic, who was driving, of failing to take action to avoid the collision. Sarasota police investigators, however, concluded Radicic could not have avoided the crash, so no criminal charges were filed. Radicic is a part-time race car driver. Kozel is a wealthy socialite. Kozel is included in the suit because she owns the vehicle Radicic was driving. The fatal crash also injured a 15-year-old girl. Her mother has also filed a lawsuit. A local pharmacist is behind bars charged with theft and possession of controlled substances. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office says Cody Bennett was a pharmacist at the Manatee Discount Pharmacy when he committed the crimes. An investigation began after a complaint of suspicious activity at the pharmacy. Investigators found nearly 500 oxycodone pills were missing. Detectives say they found some of those pills in Bennett's pockets. He later confessed he had been stealing from the pharmacy since September. Florida medical examiners say opioid-related deaths increased by more than a third last year, and more people per capita died in Manatee County than anywhere else in the state. A new state report shows there were more than 5,000 cases where opioids were either the cause of death or present in the system of the person who died. Manatee County again had the highest number of fentanyl analog-related deaths per capita, which includes carfentanil, among Florida's 67 counties. Manatee County's third annual Small Business Expo happening today in downtown Bradenton. This networking event offers information about products and services that can help anyone launch a business or operate their business more effectively. More than 20 local business resources were there, ranging from financial, marketing, workforce recruiting, training, and small business development.
We try to cover a wide range of ideas to help them move forward in business. We're trying to help businesses grow.
So we try to educate them about things they can do to better protect themselves and protect the business itself.
The expo is part of Global Entrepreneurship Week. It's also a preview of Small Business Saturday, which encourages consumers to shop at locally owned businesses. That will be the Saturday right after Thanksgiving. Birds, canals, and drones, the hot topics of conversation in Northport last night. A drone took flight earlier this year to survey around 35 miles of Northport's 80 miles of canals. The purpose of the study, to take a closer look at wading birds during this year's nesting season. Many types of birds of all sizes were able to be spotted during this study.
It gives you the ability to gather really accurate data, and a lot of decisions in land development or conservation are based on having the best available data.
I think this kind of study is very, very important. A number of animals are obviously going into being listed on the endangered species list, and so having this kind of technology is a big tool, a positive tool.
Water Resource Associates Engineering was overseeing this study using a grant from Charlotte Harbor National Estuary Program. Don't forget, you can get more news from around the state as well as updates on local and breaking news by downloading our latest updated version of our app. iPhone users will need to go to the App Store and re-download this app. Just search for WWSB or My Suncoast because it will expire again at the end of this month. The Lake Manatee Dam will undergo extensive repairs starting today that may last into early 2019. Those repairs hope to extend the dam's lifespan by 50 or even 100 more years. The dam itself is now 51 years old and holds back an 1,800-acre reservoir. That water in the reservoir provides nearly 35 million gallons of drinking water to both Manatee and Sarasota counties. And you'll be glad to know water rates will not rise due to these repairs. Sarasota County is hosting a community workshop today to gather some input on building a new dog park. That proposed park would be leash-free and would be built on the 19-acre Bay Street Park in Osprey. The workshop is scheduled to start at 5:30 this afternoon at historic Spanish Point on Tamiami Trail in Osprey. County officials will gather feedback tonight before presenting their latest draft for the park. Future Business Leaders of America at Lee Middle School are raising money for hurricane victims in Puerto Rico. The Bradenton School is sending $500 worth of solar lights and personal water filter systems to Puerto Rico with the hope of helping some of the families that FEMA may have missed. One teacher will be traveling with a group of volunteers to the island to personally distribute the donations in the heaviest hit and forgotten areas. 8 sea lions are back home in the Florida Keys after being evacuated ahead of Hurricane Irma more than 2 months ago. 3 days before Irma passed through the Keys, California sea lions were transported to a Mayaca City-based organization. They were evacuated because they were at risk of getting hit by flying debris. They're now back at home in the Theater of the Sea, which is the nation's second oldest marine attraction. And let's get back to our weather here on the Suncoast, turning into a really nice day after kind of a cloudy
start.
Yeah,
we had a little fog, a little mist, and a lot of low clouds that were around this morning. Yeah, I guess it was kind of a double-edged sword. You know, in one respect, it cut off the sunlight, so it added kind of a raw feeling to the morning.
Yeah.
But also, it kept the nighttime temperatures up a little bit compared to 24 hours ago. So, I don't know. Take your pick.
Yeah,
what do you
exactly.
like? We have this morning the cloud cover at Lakewood Ranch webcam shows, you know, it gave way to the sunshine about 10 o'clock this morning. Everything started to mix away, and we started to get that beautiful, deep blue sky that we have been getting for most of this week as we have that high pressure ridge that has just been so important to our weather forecast over the last several days. Now that little trough that produced some of that cloud cover sinking southward and mixing away, we still have a trophy area over on the other coast, and that is producing some continuous areas of showers and drizzle, and it's not the best week over on the other coast, I'll tell you what. Especially from about Fort Pierce southward, it's been kind of persistent cloudiness. Look for a daytime high today that'll top out in the upper 70s, close to 80, and nothing in the way of any rainfall chance today. Now, as we head into the weekend, things will change a little bit. We'll talk about that in just a second, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Desperate pleas for help from areas devastated by Sunday's earthquake along the border of Iran and Iraq. More than 500 people were killed, and now survivors are struggling and say they are lacking basic necessities. Amateur video showed doctors at work treating the injured in makeshift structures in the courtyard of a hospital. Greece's fire officials are searching for 6 people today that were reported missing following a major flash flood that left 14 people dead. The government declaring today a day of national mourning after the flooding. The flooding came after a storm that brought driving rain to the area. Roads turned into muddy rivers that carried away vehicles, tossing them into piles on roadsides and against fences and buildings. Several walls from yards and low buildings collapsed, filling roads with rubble. Soldiers in military vehicles continue to patrol the streets of Zimbabwe's capital city, some guarding the offices of reportedly detained President Robert Mugabe. Zimbabwe's army said on Wednesday it had the president and his wife in custody and was securing government offices and patrolling the capital's streets following a night of unrest. It also included a military takeover of the state broadcaster, although military officials say this is not a coup.
This is a sad development in the politics of our country, and as far as allowing a military takeover is concerned.
Question now is how Zimbabwe can move from this impasse, and will Mugabe exit power in a peaceful way? President Trump is on Capitol Hill today talking tax reform. He's meeting with Republicans ahead of a House vote on this massive tax bill. ABC's Janae Norman has more on the victory that GOP leaders are hoping to land by Christmas.
Looking for a legislative victory, President Trump headed to Capitol Hill today to rally Republicans toward a tax reform win.
We developed a Tax Cuts and Jobs Act with those low and middle income families in mind. They need a break.
Today's vote expected to pass the House, but then there's the Senate, where the GOP plan already faces major hurdles. Senate Republicans can only afford to lose 2 votes. So far, Republican Ron Johnson of Wisconsin says he can't support the massive tax overhaul. His reason? He says the bill favors big corporations over small businesses. Democrats already oppose the plan, most recently arguing Republicans are turning the tax bill into a health care bill with a proposal to repeal the Obamacare mandate requiring Americans have health insurance. That's projected to save more than $300 billion over the next 10 years, but also expected to leave an estimated 13 million more Americans uninsured by 2027.
Mr. Speaker, the American people do not support the GOP tax plan being considered today. After promising a simple and fair tax system, Republicans offer a complicated mess.
And concerns about what that could mean for Americans' health care premiums has Republican Senator Susan Collins unsure of the plan. Republicans will still need to reconcile the differences between the House version and the Senate version of the tax plan, and they're on a tight self-imposed deadline trying to wrap up tax reform by the end of the year. Janae Norman, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Still to come this afternoon, the kids may not want to hear this one. According to a new study, most people want to stop giving gifts over the holiday season. But before you stop shopping, what people want instead.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
ABC 7 investigates shopping secrets tonight at 6 p.m. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Lots of sun shining across the region, 73-degree air temperature, and dew point coming in at 60, making it feel just ever so comfortable out there. We had this morning a temperature of 60 and a dew point of 60, so the humidity was kind of high, and that gave it kind of a raw feeling to the air this morning. But now with the temperature rising, we're just looking at some really pleasant conditions out there. Calm winds right now and the barometer high. We're looking at 75 degrees, Wauchula, Arcadia. Mayaca City coming in at 74, 73 in Sarasota, 72 in Venice, and 75 in Northport, 74 in Bradenton. A big ridge of high pressure is just about ready to make its entrance to our area and just reinforce this already beautiful weather that we've been having. Right now it's providing pretty quiet weather to a lot of the country. Meanwhile, an area of low pressure moves off to the north into the east, producing some snow showers in down east Maine and some rain showers along the coastline from about Boston southward, and then some rain showers as well as you head back toward the Great Lakes. In the Pacific Northwest, there is another frontal boundary producing some rain showers for California, Nevada, and then to the north of that and along the coastline, we're seeing some of the cold air spill down from Canada, producing some snow showers at the higher elevations as that marine layer kind of lifts up and climbs the mountains, producing those snows. Now, this frontal boundary is really not going to do much to our weather. It's going to sink south and basically just wash out as we head into Friday. You'll hardly even notice it's around. High pressure will then build in behind it, and that will bring us that beautiful weather again for Friday and Saturday, it looks like. And then that second front, back in the Pacific Northwest, will advance and approach us by Sunday. And that one will probably bring us a chance of rainfall, a little extra cloud cover, maybe a breezy wind in the afternoon, and draw down some drier, cooler air in time for the beginning of next work week. Mostly sunny skies for us today, lower relative humidity and seasonable temperatures. Should be a very nice day indeed. Scattered showers will still persist along the east coast of Florida, where they have for about a week now. A little trough of low pressure has set up there and is just producing those rain showers with that onshore flow. And again, if you look at the radar across the country, things are pretty quiet in most of the areas that we would be concerned about in terms of air travel. The Atlanta airport looks fine. Raleigh-Durham airport looks fine. Hubs to the west, Kansas City, no problem. Dallas, maybe a few rain showers around, but nothing really serious. It's really the locations in the northeast where there could be some airport delays because of low ceilings, like New York, and then back to the west, of course, there could be some issues there, especially in the Pacific Northwest. Otherwise, the country's quiet right now. Showers continue along the East Coast, and our Futurecast put into motion into Saturday. You'll notice we have some fair weather in store for us. Maybe a little bit of cloud cover from time to time, as we have seen over the last several days. Comes in from the Atlantic, but none of it produces rainfall. And then we're just going to wait for Sunday morning when this next frontal boundary, which by Saturday will be located through the deep south, approaches and brings a chance of showers for our area early on. So a north wind for boaters today at about 15 knots will bring you a moderate chop with 2-foot seas. And the official forecast, the First Alert weather forecast, calls for some pretty nice weather, actually. Daytime highs in the upper 70s, 20% chance of a shower on Sunday. And then as we head into next week, starting off cooler, but rapidly warming up as our winds turn southwest in anticipation of another front that'll move through here on Wednesday, hopefully clearing everything out for Thanksgiving. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. According to a new study, most people want to stop giving gifts over the holiday season. As the holiday shopping season now kicks into high gear, a SunTrust study shows that many people would just rather skip the gifts. More than half of those surveyed say they would rather spend time with friends and family. The survey also found 43% of people feel pressure to overspend, maybe even beyond what they can afford.
I think we need to remove this burden from ourselves to spend all this money on gifts and realize that this survey really shows that our friends and family are thinking the same thing. It's really about the time that we spend with them as opposed to just the gifts that we're giving.
Now, if you do decide to shop, Nelson Ford suggests giving yourself a limit, maybe just going old school a little bit by taking out some cash and stopping when the cash is gone. The iPhone is rarely discounted, but if you're looking to buy one, you may be able to find some incentives from several retailers over the Thanksgiving weekend. Walmart is offering $300 in the form of a gift card to anyone buying iPhone 7 through 10. Target is offering a $250 gift card on the iPhone 8 models, and Best Buy is offering a $200 gift card. The catch, though, you need to sign a 2-year lease deal with a cell phone provider. And you might not want to buy that new iPhone for your child. After all, a new statement from the American Medical Association released yesterday encourages parents to help kids unplug for their health. They cite the association between device use and serious medical conditions such as obesity, sleep problems, even depression and anxiety. The study associated increased thoughts of suicide with teens who spend more time on social media. Of course, many factors have been shown to influence teens' mental health, but a healthy balance of screen time, physical activity, and restful sleep leads to healthier, happier kids. Government regulators have denied requests from Ford and Mazda for more time to test some potentially dangerous airbags. The petitions to escape recalls involve about 3 million Ford vehicles and 6,000 from Mazda. Last year, the Florida National Highway Traffic Safety Administration delayed a recall of about 2.5 million General Motors trucks and SUVs to give the company some time for long-term tests of airbags from the same company. But now they're saying they are different design and don't have the issues of other inflators. For luxury car owners who want their prized possessions kept clean and safe, a car nanny may be the answer. And a Houston garage is offering a long list of services to watch over exotic and classic vehicles 24/7. The garage houses some of the most unique modern exotics and old classic cars in Houston. And the people who own the cars, athletes, doctors, lawyers, oil and gas execs, don't want you to know who they are. This idea was born out of need, according to the garage owner, who started the business 8 years ago.
So we have service, we have detailing, and we have a dealership all co-located under one roof.
Aside from their price tags, owners spend $350 a month for this service. The place also is under round-the-clock security. I would hope so, those great cars. Well, a painting by Leonardo da Vinci sold for a record $450 million at auction yesterday. that obliterates any previous records for artwork sold at auction. The painting is one of fewer than 20 paintings by Da Vinci known to exist, and the only one that is in private hands. The painting dates from around 1500 and was once owned by King Charles I of England. It was sold Wednesday by a Russian billionaire who purchased it back in 2013 for $127.5 million in a private sale. I would say that was a good investment. And soon you'll be able to witness some of Da Vinci's masterpieces in person without having to leave the Suncoast. The Manatee Performing Arts Center is again welcoming the Da Vinci and Michelangelo, The Titans Experience performance next month. This is a multimedia Broadway show incorporating exhibits from both Renaissance artists. Still to come in your Suncoast News, Drake stopped mid-show to say something to a concert goer, and the crowd went wild. What he told them to stop doing.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
The biggest shopping day of the year is here, and Sunset Fiat of Sarasota invites you to experience the ultimate LBD. Long, beautiful drive, of course, because no matter which model you try on, the Fiat 500, the 500X, the 500L, or the gorgeous Fiat Spider, you're going to love the way you look and feel in your new Fiat. Prices starting as low as $13,999 during the Black Friday sales event going on now at Sunset Fiat of Sarasota.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
If you're between 50 and 85 years old, call the number on your screen right now for free information on how to save your family thousands of dollars. We're Family Love Plans, and we've been helping families just like yours for over 30 years. The average funeral today can cost up to $10,000 or more, but the most you'll get from government benefits is just $255. How will your family pay the difference? At Family Love Plans, we can help you and your family. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam and your plan can't be canceled. Better still, your rate will never go up and your benefits will never go down. Get your free information about our senior plans. Just answer a few simple questions and receive approval right over the phone.
Call 1-800-707-3608. That's 1-800-707-3608.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
Get the best Black Friday deals right now during the Black Friday sales event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Don't just settle for what's available at a smaller lot. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab at rock bottom pricing. Or spread out in your spacious new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $11,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
After more than 22 years, the Vans Warped Tour is coming to an end. The influential pop-punk music festival's organizer announcing yesterday that the 2018 tour will be its last. The Warped Tour isn't totally dead, though. A 25th anniversary celebration is being planned for 2019, but it will not include a traveling tour. Drake interrupting his performance at a concert in Australia Tuesday after he spotted a man apparently touching women inappropriately. The rapper-singer pointed at the man and let him know it wasn't acceptable and that he would not let it continue. Well, they're crazy for Coco in Mexico. The Pixar film just became the highest-grossing movie in Mexico ever. The animated adventure, centering on Mexican culture and the Day of the Dead, debuted south of the border 3 weeks ago, and it will debut in the U.S. next week. One Tree Hill creator, Mark Schwann, has been suspended from his current job. This after 18 past colleagues released a joint statement accusing him of sexual harassment. The E! Network has suspended him from working on their show called The Royals. Yesterday, Alexandra Park, who stars on The Royals, put out a statement on Twitter saying she had been, quote, exposed to Schwann's reprehensible behavior. Twitter is removing verification privileges for some people. That verification program gives celebrities, journalists, and other well-known figures a recognizable blue check mark on their account. It indicates that Twitter has confirmed the user's identity. Last week, Twitter said guidelines were being updated due to confusion that verifications were endorsements. Now the company says any user who tweets content promoting hate or violence could get kicked out of the program. Some white nationalist and far-right figures have already had their accounts banned or unverified. I heard a couple of people talking about this, that they lost their check mark and were wondering why.
I did not know you could get a check mark.
Yeah, I didn't either.
How about that? I'll be darned. Again, beautiful weather this afternoon. Absolutely lovely. Get out there and enjoy it. Looks like tomorrow should be more of the same.
Awesome. Thank you, John. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day ahead, and we invite you back at 5 o'clock for more news and weather. See you then.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKX Sport Utility for $349 per month, or Lincoln's flagship, the 2017 Continental, for $449 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.